All right, what is going on, everybody? We are back here on this All-Star Week break with a special event as we lead up into our All-Star weekend on Saturday night, which should be a lot of fun. But before we get into things, got to introduce my man Speed. Speed, how are you doing on this fine Wednesday night?
I'm doing wonderful. Uh, Started driving a Class B dump fuel truck today, so that was always fun. Had no service and came back to find out that this wonderful event was going on. So can't beat it. Excited to get back into some Nemesis action.
Yeah, it should be fun. First, also, and one more thing before we keep things rolling along. Shout out to Crippus for an 18-month resub. He's also streaming for us tonight, so shout out to Crippus for all that. But yeah, first matchup of the night, we have an interesting one as we got a couple of show matches going down. I'm sure some of you guys saw the news announcement. You're like, what's going on here? So basically, what we got for you guys tonight is we got three matches from season 6 last season that we're bringing back to you. First off, here we're going to have a season 6 novice all-star rematch. So the best of the best from novice league last season are going to be going at it in a rematch of this season. So we'll get to see how they improved from last season, who got better, who got worse, all those sort of things. We'll talk a little bit about that. So first up, we got novice east versus novice west all-stars. And then later on, we have another all-star match coming up after this one. And then we have one more final match, which is Blizzard taking on Reapers, a grand finals rematch from last season, which is also going to be very hype. All these are best of 5. And then last but not least, after that 9:30 matchup, we have the All-Star reveal. So if you guys are excited for that, make sure you stick around because as soon as that match is over, we're going to be revealing the All-Stars. So make sure you guys are ready for that. But let's start talking about this thing, Speed. What can you tell us about these two teams? Who's playing? I'm sure a lot of people are wondering who's even playing in this matchup on these teams, East versus West, and then what you're expecting in this one.
Yeah. So first up, we got the Novice League West conference from last season is Psychonautic, Jolly Rogers, and Chops. Psycho with an outstanding last season, 58.7% of the votes. Pretty sure that was like 15-20% higher than anyone else. So that was crazy. So they're coming back at it for the West, and Psycho actually moved up into the Prospect League this season. So that's, maybe a little bit of advantage to them as everybody else for both sides is still back in that Novice League. And on that Eastern side, that is going to be, actually, Daydreams. Daydreams moved up to Charlie. I forgot about that. So Novice on the Eastern side, Daydreams, Snipsy, and Threat. And Daydreams did move up to Charlie. So, this actually is gonna be tough. Is Daydreams, the Charlie, gonna be able to carry the Eastern to their first ever All-Star win?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting for sure. Yeah, Daydream and Psycho, the only two that have moved up, and you guys may see a little bit of that in these show matches. Some people moved up to higher leagues because these are the season 6 All Stars. So you guys were novice last season. It was a while ago though, because we did have that longer off-season break to get all these new overlays and all this hard work in the off-season going for you guys. So yeah, it will be interesting to see what we got going here. Speed. I venture to you here for a prediction. It's going to be tough. We don't really know who's going to win necessarily, but do you have an idea of who you may think will come out on top in this one?
I got to go with my AGM and my conference, West. Western Conference all day. I think Psycho, Jolly, and Chops are going to be able to pull this one through.
All right. Well, we're going to
probably game 5. It'll go game 5, though.
Game 5. All right. I'd love to see a game 5 here as we get this special event underway as we have East versus West Season 6 All-Star rematch in the Novice League. And we talked a little bit about the teams. We have Threat, Daydreams, and Snipsy on the East. And like Speed mentioned, in the official All-Star games, the Eastern Conference has never won. And then on the West, we have Chops, Jolly Rogers, and Psychonautic. Psycho, one of those guys that moved up. So we'll see who's going to come out firing and who is going to take this thing early. As Psycho, he's going to find a clear off his back wall as Chops taking a little bit of a dribble. Trying to take this one across middle. He pops it up high. Off the backboard, Snipsy trying to find the read. Threat going to help bail him out, but Psycho is coming right back looking for the shot and the foul. It's not going to go as Jolly trying to get some pressure out. As here comes a demo. Chops looking to make some dribble moves, but it's not going to go. And we're about a minute in here, Speed. And these two teams, they're kind of firing some shots back and forth trying to get this first goal on the board.
Yeah, they really are, and I like Chops' play style so far. Is he's tried to fake out the defenders. So that's something you don't typically see in novice gameplay. So it's really cool to see him trying to throw that out here in this special event we have tonight.
Yeah, and I think speed something that's interesting, and maybe you could touch on this a little bit more is the novice boundaries have changed, and that kind of that kind of proves why some people are still a novice. The boundary went pretty high up, so that I think that's a I'm curious what you think about that, about how it compares last season novice to this season novice.
Yeah, I mean, half a novice this season would have been prospect last season. So some of these players that we said they're still novice, definitely have stepped up their game. And if boundaries were the same, would have definitely been prospect. However, boundaries, player base, we got aimed towards a higher player base this season, MMR player base. So we had to definitely raise that up. So it definitely makes it interesting. This isn't necessarily going to be the typical novice gameplay that you see.
Yeah, definitely won't be. And yeah, like you said, a lot of these guys have moved up a bit from last season. As Snipsy's gonna have an open net, he's gonna put it in off the clear, and the East is gonna take the early. Well, maybe not early, but they are gonna take the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and that's just great touch there by Snipsy, beating the last defender as he's trying to 50 him and able to slot that win in, and the rotation there for the West Side not quite there, but they still have half a game left, and and definitely excited to see the scoring start really propelling here now that the first one fell in.
Jolly Rogers going to find the clear, and we'll see if the East is going to continue on. Like we said, they've never technically won an All-Star match. This one obviously would have some asterisks on it, but they can win, and they definitely want to do it for the East. A little bit of pride, a little bit of fun in the special event, and I'm sure we'll see some people messing around. We see Jolly Rogers in the Merc. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen Jolly Rogers. Is Chops looking for the double tap? Psycho trying to put it in. It's just gonna fall in. Hold that thought for a second. And Psycho's gonna tie us up with the slow roller.
Yes, he is. And honestly, Psycho's on my team this season, and he's been hitting double taps like there's no tomorrow, posting double tap clips in our Discord 24/7. So the fact that he didn't hit a double tap to start off this game kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I mean Psycho. He's had a great performance so far. I mean, moving up to prospect from novice last season, was a novice all star, and like you said, moved on to your team, the Gladiators, this season, and it's good to see Psycho up in the higher league. I know Speed. He was really trying to get out from novices. Oh no, that one gonna go off of his car, and a painful one to drop in.
Yeah, and he was really excited, and then that moment happens, and I bet he's not too excited that he's up in prospect, and that moment still happens back in an all-star game. So at least you can call it a novice moment because he's representing novice this season right now.
That's true. That's true. You can throw the novice emote out for himself. I know people love the novice emote, and yeah, that one a little bit unfortunate. But hey, the East is definitely going to take that, as the West is looking to strike back, but Daydreams, he's going to block that one away. As it's popped up, Jolly Rogers off the backboard trying to find a read, but Chops, he's going to find a clear off to the side. This one popping up. Blocked in the midfield. Psycho looking to get the clear down. He's sending it away. Threat trying to get back to it. Just barely able to make a touch. His Daydreams blocks it away. This one sent back across. Snipsy back into the West zone. He's going to get it by one. Other shot coming through. It's off the crossbar, but not going to go in. And the East looking to strike once more. Again off the backboard from Daydreams. But the East is not quite able to follow. And we're just about a minute left in this one. Speed in the West looking to find a tying goal.
Yeah, looking to find a tying goal, and with Psycho being the one to move up here for the West Side, I think it's got to start with him. He's got to corral the troops, show it some of that prospect expertise that he's had this season, and really get this team going in the final 30 seconds here.
See, is this one into the East zone? The West looking to find one. Jolly gonna find a block. Psycho popping this one up. Daydreams, he can't connect. This could lead to an opportunity. Psycho pops it up. Chops looking for the block there. As Psycho, he's trying to keep it in. Final 10 seconds now for the West. Can they get it going? Jolly Rogers is bumped. Daydreams, he's looking to chase this one down. Is Snipsy, he blocks it up. The West are going to take the majority of the pitch here. Jolly, he pops it up into the midfield. Threat, He's going to cut it down. Can the West keep this ball up? Jolly to the side. Psycho. He's going to get it to the corner. The West still going to have a ways to go as Chops puts it up in the midfield. A double commit comes through, but the ball is still floating. Snipsy off the side wall, and the shot going to go in for the East, not the West there, as the East put the dagger in. You got to respect them keeping it up at 0 seconds.
You really do, and great effort by both sides there, and great to see the East not, taking the easy way out and letting it drop. They were also trying to keep it up, get one more in, show the fans that this again is not the typical Novice play that you would see. That they've gotten way better, and that they're able to keep that ball up for 15, 20, 30 seconds at the end of a game if they really need to.
Respect that. I think they should always keep the ball up in 0 seconds. Especially in this little bit of a show match. I mean, you want to win and you have some fun. And yeah, the East is going to put it in. Threat with 2 goals there. Snipsy, he drops one in as well. And Psycho led the score on the other side. And yeah, the East trying to do it. I'm curious here, Speed, as we're about to head into our second game number 2 here. What do you think? What do you think about the West so far, and maybe what they could do, what they've done well, and what they could do better head into the second game?
For one thing, I think they need to try to limit Daydream's aerial play. Especially with Challenger being almost what Rival was last season for a little bit. He really has gained a lot of skill and ability to make plays in the air, so they have to limit that. And his Daydream's team is definitely benefiting from that. They're great players themselves, so their awareness and their rotations are really helping them out. So West really has to limit that out of Daydreams, and they also have to just start playing a little more as a team. I feel like with this being a show match, they're kind of just still not used to their play style, so they just have to get used to each other again.
Yeah, that is one thing to note as well, is these guys, they don't play 24/7 on a consistent basis. I'm sure a lot of these guys have probably never played with each other. They found out about this morning, trying to get this all-star stuff going, and they probably just hopped into a call right now, said a couple minutes before, maybe play a couple games, and let's go play some Rocket League, because let's have some fun on stream. And yeah, we'll have to see how the chemistry goes as this one goes on. Is Jolly's trying to find a block there. Psycho, he's going to bang this one down by one of the defenders. The net kind of open, but the West not quite ready to capitalize. The Psycho looking for a shot as Demo came through. Here comes Chops up into the ceiling. Jolly Rogers is going to try to find a touch, but not quite able to connect. This one going to be blocked away in the midfield. Daydreams send it up in the air, but it's going to be sent back. The West can't touch it, and Daydreams has an open net to shoot at. A little bit of miscommunication allows the East to get back on top.
Yeah, and I think that's all that was right there. Is Chops may have called it. Psycho tried to back off at the last second, and they were both kind of right there, thinking the other one was going to get it, even though they both called it, type of thing. And unfortunate, Daydreams there to swallow that one up and give them East another lead here early on in game number 2. So West definitely has some work to put out for the rest of game 2 here.
Yeah, definitely so. They see if they can bring it back. They've had a couple of solid opportunities, but really the East has been doing just enough to hold on to this one. First game was close, only a 3-1 margin, with the last goal being scored at 0 seconds. So regardless, it's been close. The West have to look and see if they can fight back for some offense. This one's set up in the midfield, but Snipsy, he's going to find a touch. He sends this one down. Psycho clearing it off the back wall out of the midfield. This one popping up threat, trying to get to it. Jolly going to find a 50. So here comes Chops, looking to take to the air. He's going to beat it by Daydreams, but Snipsy waiting back, able to get the clear. And it just seems like speed, as we are about 2 minutes through, it just seems like the East have some pretty solid rotations. This one is dangerous towards the net, but they're going to clear it away. It just seems like, I don't know if you agree, but the rotations may be the difference at the moment.
Yeah, it really is. You see, every time the East is there, they have an option. They have a passing option that, they take a shot. There's someone there for the rebound. With the West, it's kind of just like, oh, you have the ball. I'm going to sit. The other two are like, I'm going to sit back, let you try to do your thing. And they're not really quite there for any type of second chance play. So that's definitely, to me, also seems like what's going on here between the East and the West, and why the East has seemed to have such an advantage so far.
See if they can continue their advantage. It They may seem to have a pressure advantage. Oh no, this one could be going towards the net, but it's off the post, and it's going to be cleared away. That one almost a huge mistake there. But yeah, despite seeming to have a lot of pressure advantage, the East only leads by one goal, as they did for majority of game number one. Before tacking one on the very end, as this one shot towards the net, but it's off the post. The follow up, Chop's going to get a great touch there, but Snipsy, he's able to keep it in. He's trying to chase it down again, but not quite meant to be this time. This one's sent back in the west half. Snipsy is up, can't connect. It's Chops looking to stay up with this one. He's going to find a touch by one. Going to block it up off the ceiling. This could be an opportunity here as the East double commits Psycho. He's going to try to get to this one, but it's just a little bit wide. Now down to a minute 30 again. Speed, another really close game, but the West just struggling to get a tie ball game.
Yeah, they're throwing everything they have at it now. You know, they've had a lot of great looks. They're starting to get a second man there and get multiple looks at the goal. But this East defense is just holding on for dear life, and they are doing it excellently as well.
Only need to hold on for a minute as the Red is going to bump Psycho right off that dribble. And Snipsy, he's going to have a dribble of his own. Oh my goodness, he takes it all the way. It's a 2-0 lead for the East.
And that's just a great heads up right there. Seeing he has space, realizing he has the ability to beat two defenders on the dribble. And, you know, that's a great heads up play right there by Snipsy, not just banging it into the West's defensive half.
Huge dribbles from him, and yeah, I believe he's a free agent right now. So trying to get back on the team here before the trade drop deadline, and looking to get his name out here as season 6 All-Star. Looking to get his name out in season 7, but the West, they are not done yet. Still 40 seconds left. They've been held scoreless here. Still have an opportunity to tie this one up, and they're looking here as Jolly Roger is gonna 50-2. The Psycho. This one gonna get sent back down, up in the midfield, and Jolly gonna clear that one away. Snipsy in the corner now as it pops up towards the backboard. Chops gonna find a touch to the corner, but time really a huge factor for the West as they're trying to get this one out. Jolly, he's gonna land on it, gonna try to throw off Snipsy, but the final 10 seconds, if they don't score with time left on the clock, this is gonna be East victory as Threat clears it in, and that will do it here. They're going to get another one. No, Daydreams. You can't put it home on this one as they're going to try to keep it up one more. Maybe the West can get one for the road here. Shops trying to get to it, but Jolly, he's going to keep it up towards the backboard, but it's sent down, and the East are going to take their second win in a row here, and they put themselves one win away from taking home a sweep here in this little show match.
Yeah, and, you know, a sweep here would mean a lot to the East. You know, granted, yes, it's not quite an actual All-Star game. It is last year's replay of All-Stars match. But, you know, with them being 0-4 since, you know, Novice was created in All-Star matches, this is definitely turning to be in a right direction for the East All-Stars.
Yeah, definitely so here. And I mean, a good performance overall. You have to be impressed. I know Snipsy, he's putting his name out there in Daydreams. He's a challenger this season, so they may have a little bit of the upper hand there. But yeah, Threat and Snipsy still novice, Daydreams challenger, and then Chops and Jolly novice with Psycho as the prospect there. So I mean, maybe the East has had the edge on paper, and so far they've had the edge in this game. But honestly, Speed, they've been close. They've been close. I mean, I've been impressed with the West able to hold on. It just seems like they just need some little thing to break through, and I'm not quite sure what it is.
And I agree with you. They haven't been quite blowouts. So, with that being said, if you are the West, you got to try something, right? This is a show match. It's a game that doesn't really mean anything. So try something. Maybe get physical, or you know, whatever it may be. Maybe look for more passes and really emphasize on that. As Jolly Rogers trying to make something happen to start in Game 3, and unlucky goal line save right there by the East.
Oh my goodness! I thought for sure that one was going to go in for Jolly to start things off, as it looked like it was almost a fake kickoff. I don't know if it was intentional or not. As this one is sent all the way down, and Daydreams, he's going to put it in for the East. And I thought maybe Speed, they were going for the fake kickoff, but I guess it doesn't matter as the East is going to strike back.
Maybe they were going for the fake kickoff. You know, we just were talking about just try something different, anything to put the East on their back heels, surprise them, and it almost worked for them, whether it was regardless on purpose or not. So, unfortunately, though, turned around, got scored on, and again have an early 1-0 deficit.
Yeah, it's a tough way for the West here, but like you said, they've been close. I mean, really, all these games have been close. 3-1 victory in game one at the last second goal, and then a 2-0 last game. So the West might have something here. Jolly, he's looking for the demo, but Chops, he can't quite put it through. As that one could have been the opportunity needed. Jolly just getting back this one to save it away. But again, so close yet so far for the West. As a minute has gone by, Psycho gonna take to the air here, but Daydreams, the nice little block. Chops sending off the side here, looking to stay with it. He pops it again. Jolly just a little bit too close on that one to send it back in. As Psycho blocks it up, Jolly gonna look for that touch but can't find it. This ball in the corner, shot towards that. Psycho gonna make a nice save as it's up to Chops. We're about a minute and a half gone by. Shots are even, but the East still leading by one. And Speed, you gotta be concerned a little bit here for the West in their hopes to try to bring this one back, because they just haven't seen too much offensive pressure for them.
And it is a little concerning with the manpower that they have on this roster, and they've looked so good, and to just see them kind of in this game three really have not too much going on. You know, they had that one really good look at the beginning by Jolly, and then Chops put another decent shot on himself, but they just can't get anything to fall. As an example right there, another goal line stint there by the East defense, and just staying strong as a rock back there.
Oh my goodness, that one was so close. I thought for sure that was a goal. I am very surprised that demo must have came out at literally the last second. And I mean, what a touch to save it away. As Psycho's going to dribble it by two, but Daydreams, he cuts it off for the moment. This one actually still dangerous. Here comes Chops. He's going to send it a little bit high. Can he find the follow? They're trying, but they can't get it. And or as we said, they weren't getting in the offense. They start to get a couple of shots towards the net, but they cannot find it. As here comes Psycho. He's going to find a touch to the midfield, but only Snipsy is there to meet him. As Threat taking this one. Send it towards the middle. Dangerous Jolly. Just able to get the touch. Is Snipsy throwing it in the midfield. Here comes Jolly. Sends it up just a little bit wide. Daydreams might not be able to read this one, but Snipsy's going to come out of nowhere. And still, the West, they need to find something. They're starting to get some pressure speed. They just can't break through quite yet.
Yeah, they're getting the pressure. They are technically out shooting the East 4-2 after that shot right there by Jolly Rogers, and they've had a lot of the pressure in the East's defensive half. But again, they need to get something to happen to break one in, tie this game back up, and find a way to come out on top on this game three and force it at least to game four.
I just need some content here. Give us some content, East and the West here. Hopefully, for the West can bring it back. As Threat's on the dribble, trying to take it all the way, but it's not going to go. So we're getting down close to 60 seconds remaining. The East looking for the sweep, and the West hoping to fight for another game. As Psycho, he's sending it up. It's off the backward. Daydream, super awkward. It's a shot opportunity, and Chops puts it in. Ties us at 1-1 with 1 minute remaining.
And that's what you're looking for right there. Nice plays right there. Beautiful pass by Psycho. Big clear. Ends up waterfalling right down. Puts the defender, which I believe was Daydreams, in net. Very awkward, and Chops. Easy touch. Put it in. Secure it. 1 minute to go exactly on the clock. Exactly. Good position they want to be in right now.
Great goal, and finally the West break through. Is this one send it back? But can they hold on? Can they give themselves the win here in this one? That's what we're all waiting to see. Can they get a game win in this one and maybe start the reverse sweep after losing the first two games? The East, they probably don't want any part of that. As much as they love the content, they probably don't want anything to do with that. This one's sent back. Chop's going to make the save, and Threat going to send it high off the backboard. This one dropping down. The East pop it up, but no one from the West challenging. As Daydream sends it towards the backboard. Chop's going to find a touch, but it's still dangerous. The West get a little panicky here as this ball is going to get by Snipsy. Psycho, can he get to the middle? No, it's banged back. And Chop's awaiting dangerously on his back. We're going to try to take it up, but oh my goodness, that one almost read out Final seconds here of game number 3. The West looking for a dagger at the end here. It's towards the net and it's in. Jolly Rogers with the buzzer beater winner.
Wow. And if you're the East, I bet they're sitting there saying that hit the ground, that hit the ground, that hit the ground, because that thing was close to hitting the ground. But West finds a way, turn around, get that win here in game 3. No sweep for them, except maybe the reverse sweep coming in here. And my channel points are still intact. Come on, West.
The West is still alive. What a performance there. I mean, Speed, I just thought for so long in that game that they were down and out with the way it was going. I felt like it was one of those series where, the East, they just went out and then barely hold on in the end to get the sweep. But the West, they're back and fighting and going to provide us some content with a reverse sweep. And I mean, that's got to get your spirits high after that win right there to give you some confidence.
Yeah, and it really will. The only one that really looked scary on the other team for this game up for the East was Daydreams coming out with 5 shots, but the West tallied accumulatively 7 shots as a team, and they looked much better as a team that one. And it looks like they definitely found a way to handle this East offensive pressure and break down that defense a little bit and find a way into the back of the net a couple times.
Yeah, they did. I mean, pressure was great that game. I mean, it looked like a great game for the West. They kind of found something there in game 3, but it's that may be the easiest game when you're attempting a reverse sweep Speed. It's getting that first one. That may be the easiest one to get. As now it's just going to get harder from here because the East they're going to try to lock things down for sure here in game 4 and don't even let them get the chance to get to game 5.
Yeah, game 3, the winning team usually most of the time how that happens, they get a little lackadaisical. And the team that's already down 2-0, they got nothing to lose. They're putting everything out on the line they have. So I definitely agree that's the easiest game to win. But it's how they respond here is really going to show you what this West team can have.
We'll see. Does the West have some more in the tank to tie us up and send us to a game 5? So looking to attempt the reverse sweep in this little show match. We're just tuning in here. No streams on the mainstream this week as we're on a little bit of an off week for Independence Day and a little bit of an off week as we're heading into All Stars. So we got a little show match here from season 6. These are the season 6 All Stars coming back on the stream here, having a little bit of a rematch. And the East took games 1 and 2, and the West just won that game number 3. Now they're looking to continue it on here. So we're heading into game 4, and Shops taking it to the backboard, trying to get a little mechanical, but it's off the post there. It's going to be blocked up as threat. He's going to try to make the touch, and Daydream's going to clear it away. About a minute in, and we've seen this story a little bit speed in this one. A lot of the first minutes here have gone 0-0 with no one breaking through.
Yeah, both teams, having some decent looks, but none of them being registered as shots. So, they're getting some pressure. They're getting, decent looks, but they're more of just kind of passes off the backboard looking for teammates. So, we're definitely expecting with how this series has gone so far to start seeing this offensive pressure really pick up and seeing both teams start rifling off some shots and see which one comes off on top here. Because right now, they're both staying strong here in game 4. Psycho is going to put this one in.
Psycho with the shot here. He finds a double, or well, maybe not quite a double tap. He finds a second read, and I don't know what happened to Snipsy. He is lost. He is lost in net there. And throwing for content. Hey, it's a show match. I may support it here. As much as I, I don't like to talk about throwing. I mean, content may be there. And they put one in there. So be a little bit interesting. But hey, the West is not going to complain.
No, they're not going to complain. Just like Psycho won't complain because I threw for content and he ended up coming away with a win. So if you're the East here, I do not recommend throwing for content because it probably will bite you in the end. So just a little fair warning here, someone who's had bad experience with it already.
And Speed mentioning that 1v1 on the charity stream, the 24-hour charity stream, where him and Psycho ended up shaving their beards. It was a fun time in that one, and you gotta watch out. You gotta watch out when you throw for content on the fun matches. They can get back to bite you here. As this one, the East now, they find themselves down 1-0 in this one, looking to find an answer back. As this one popping up the West, a little bit of a double commit comes through. As Psycho trying to get this one cleared out, but just really stuck in his corner as Daydream sets it up. Jolly gonna send it down, but it's gonna be blocked away by Threat. 2 minutes here. closing in on it, and the West, they're just holding on here. Speed, that's all they needed. They just needed one. If they can add one more, though, that would definitely be a great cushion, but they are holding on to their lead so far, and only 2 minutes to go before they can force that game five in the reverse sweep attempt.
Yeah, and 2 minutes, as we've seen, is a lot of time. As boom, right there, not even 8 seconds later, Daydreams is going to tie this one up for the East, and make West fight a little harder to secure this and send this to Game 5.
Dolly just trying to get to it, but not meant to be as Daydreams puts it in. And yeah, this is starting to get a little bit dangerous, a little bit dangerous for the West. When you allow them to get back in, usually to force these, I feel like Speed, to force these game fives, you have to pretty much win this game four decisively. I feel like anytime you get overtime in game four when you're trying to reverse sweep, I feel like it never turns out well for that team.
Yeah, I think and I agree because most of the time they put in so much effort in that Game 4, especially if it goes overtime. They're giving everything they have that they just run out of any juice that they have in that Game 5 chance. But these are all stars. So maybe it'll be a little different this time.
Yeah, it could be, and you got to remember these guys were some of the best players from last season, and you know even still in this season, definitely high quality Nemesis players. We'd love to see who is going to step up for their team and give them the victory here in Game 4. The East looking to close it out as we're now down to a minute remaining. Daydreams blocks on up threat, looking for a touch. Psycho trying to get to that one. It's awkward off the backboard. Psycho's got to jump, but he doesn't get there in time. And Snipsy puts it over the top of his head, and East take the lead.
Yeah, and that's Daydreams right there, just being a bully and just opens up just enough room for Snipsy to be able to tuck that one in, giving the East again the lead with 50 seconds to go. And now it's crunch time for the West. You have to put in at least one more before the clock hits zero to be able to force this to Game 5. And that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. We saw the buzzer beater goal, though, in the last game to win it. They've got the nerves of steel. Can they do it? Here comes Chops. He has an opportunity trying to get to it, but it's blocked away. Psycho trying to race back to it just in time. So we're down to 30 seconds here. The West looking to tie it up and send us to at least overtime. Trying to stay alive in this series. Snipsy, awkward touch there. It's blocked up high. It's a dangerous ball, but Charlie can't quite put it in. And Threat finds the clear. There goes Snipsy sending it down. Chop's gonna find the block though. This ball is up. Final 10 seconds here. The West, can they put one in more? It's sent towards the middle there. A double commit comes through. Chops, he blocks it down. But can they keep this ball up? Can they find another 0-second goal? It's off the backboard. It's 50'd up in the air. Psycho. He's trying to get to it, but it's not going to get to his teammate. And the East are going to survive there. Made it close, but they hold on and take this win in this first show match.
Yes, they do. And, West definitely from game 1 and 2, not that they were blowouts by any means, but in games 3 and 4, they really showed up and they really showed and put a lot of pressure on the East. But I think they just showed up a little too late in this one to be able to make any, big noise happen.
Yeah, definitely the East. They had the lead early in the series, and they shut the door. And I thought Speed for a second there in this game 4 that the West is going to do it, but it wasn't quite meant to be. But they did give us some content. It wasn't a sweep at least. And the West, they made it close and interesting at least in that game 4. So a solid start, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely a solid start, and also got to give congratulations to the East. Not an official All-Star game, but they finally are on the board with a win. They are not winless anymore in these All-Star events.
Yeah, there you go. The East representing the Novice East. The Novice East can rejoice as they've got a win on the board. So, congratulations to the Novice East on getting this first show match. And we have 2 more show matches coming your way before we get to the final big All-Star reveal. So coming up in a little bit here, we are going to be heading to the Prospect League for another All-Star showdown. We have the Prospect East from Season 6 and the Prospect West from Season 6. They are going to be going at it here to see who can claim this rematch. It was a very interesting matchup last time between these two teams. And it hopefully should be another interesting one. We'll see if the West can continue their dominance as they won last season. And they lead that series 5-1 all time over the season. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the Prospect League. And then coming up after that, we have the Titan rematch from the grand finals from last season, and then the Season 7 All-Star reveal. So Make sure you guys stick around. It was a fun series here, but we got a couple more coming your way. So stick around, and we'll see you guys in a little bit.